Everyone knows that all roller coasters go bad at some time. And what do parks do to solve that? They simply remove the ride and replace it with something better. Parks can do this in two different ways. They can tear down the ride and replace it with something ground up, or in the case of some wooden coasters, they can strip the track off and replace it with new track with more capabilities. But which rides, if any, need this treatment currently? These are my predictions on the future hybrid conversions on wooden roller coasters. Just a quick disclaimer, this video is strictly for North America, so if you wanted to see me do other continents with this type of video, make sure to leave a like down below. Thanks. Now, this video would have been a lot easier to make just a few months ago, because there was one manufacturer that did this treatment, known as RMC. Another company, known as GCI, recently made a new track called Titan Track. The Titan Track does the same thing as RMC's iBox track, so now when doing this video, there is also an extra layer of what company should replace the track. Let's discuss all of the wooden coasters in North America that could be candidates and see if it should be removed, RMC'd, or GCI'd. Wildcat at Hershey Park has gotten considerably rougher over the years. It was GCI's first roller coaster, and it has not aged well, and is often considered the worst ride in the park. Should this ride be RMC'd? It's a possibility, but not a likely one. I have heard a rumor that a lead worker at Hershey Park saw a promo for Steel Vengeance at Cedar Point and did not like it at all, which may be a reason Wildcat has yet to be RMC'd. Furthermore, Hershey Park already has rides similar to RMC hybrids. Stormrunner and Skyrush both have similar layouts to that of an RMC hybrid. If you made a hybrid coaster with the layout of Stormrunner, it would make perfect sense as an RMC type layout. This is why I think GCI would be a much better option for Hershey. Hershey already has GCIs in the park, but I think Wildcat would still do much better this way. Wildcat used to be a good ride when it opened in 1996. Just simply retracking the ride would bring that nostalgic value that it once had, and it would make it better than ever. I think keeping the ride as it would just be a better option, because Wildcat has an excellent layout. Just some smoothing would do better than an entirely new layout. So what about Roar? Roar at Six Flags America is another old GCI, so should they put the Titan track on it? It is very rough, so wouldn't it make sense? I think not. Roar at Six Flags Discovery Kingdom has been transformed into an RMC, Joker, in 2016. Joker was a huge success for the park, and it has a relatively good layout for an RMC. Everyone also knows that Six Flags has a better relationship with RMC than GCI. Yes, you may say Six Flags is working with GCI on Predator, but I do think other rides in the train will be GCI'd. I just do not think Roar will be one of them. American Eagle is often considered the worst coaster at Six Flags Great America, so people really want it to be RMC'd, but I just don't see that happening. The main reason is that Great America already has an RMC, known as Goliath. I don't see how having two of the same type of coaster makes sense. If there are two RMCs, everyone is just going to go to the better one, which leaves the other one sitting there without much activity, which is just a waste of money. The other one would serve no purpose, which is why a GCI makes so much more sense. A GCI retracking would make American Eagle smoother than ever, and American Eagle actually has an airtime-packed layout. Instead of a new layout entirely, just keep the great original layout with retracking. It makes so much more sense. What about the Boss? It's a beast of a ride, and it would make a great layout for a conversion. Yes, but do you really think after a brand new finale on the Boss, they would just transform it a few years later? If anything comes to Six Flags St. Louis in the near future, it would not be a conversion. I think it'd be an RMC Raptor. Let's talk Canadian coasters. The ones I am discussing here are Le Monster at La Ronde and Wildebeest at Canada's Wonderland. I think that all coasters in Canada would be GCI'd instead of RMC'd. Why? Well, yes, these rides have great RMC layouts. RMC is prohibited from working in Canada at the time of uploading. But something to note about GCI's Titan track is that it's not just used for retracking, it can do the same thing as RMC track. It can be twisty and full of inversions like RMC. So why not GCI in Canada? GCI could do the same thing as RMC, and they are allowed to work, so I think that is the perfect opportunity. Now the question is, Wildebeest or Mindbuster at Canada's Wonderland? Both are awful, but one has a better layout for the Titan track treatment. Wildebeest overall is a twistier ride, which makes it better for this treatment. Speaking of Cedar Fair, I think all of the potential Woodies that would be converted would be done by GCI. Cedar Fair has had a rough reputation with RMC because of Steel Vengeance's structural issues, and they haven't worked with them since. Also, GCI has a great relationship with Cedar Fair, with many coasters opening up in the past decade. So which ones are great for the GCI conversion? Timberwolf at Worlds of Fun may be a good option, but the fact that Prowler is already at this park pushes me away. Prowler is a GCI that wouldn't be super different from that of a Titan Track coaster, so I don't really know about Timberwolf. Also, Timberwolf has recently been updated with a new turn, so that is digging it deeper into the unlikely side. Grizzly at California's Great America may also be a good option since it's very boring, but I really doubt it. Gold Striker and Railblazer already exist here, and they are very similar to a GCI Titan Track coaster, so that would be the same situation as American Eagle and Goliath. The most likely would be Hurler at Carowinds. Carowinds has 0 coasters that are intense or twisty like a GCI or RMC. Copperhead Strike would be the closest to that, and that is not intense at all. Also, Hurler at King's Dominion was converted, so why not this one? And I know everyone is asking, what about Michigan's Adventures Wolverine Wildcat? To that I say, you're very funny. To be honest, no independent parks really need coasters to be RMC'd or GCI'd. All independent Woodies are pretty great, or landmarks, so nothing stands out. I've picked 3 that I consider the most likely. Legend at Holiday World is often considered one of the worst wooden coasters, but I do not think that they would change this ride one bit. Maybe GCI could come and retrack it to make it smoother, but no way Holiday World would change the layout. The layout is phenomenal, even if the ride is rough, and it's full of lateral Gs, which is very different from RMCs and GCIs, which focus on negative Gs. Silverwood in Idaho has 2 wooden coasters with Tremors and Timber Terror. Tremors is more popular than Timber Terror and has a better layout, so if one was changed, it would be Timber Terror. GCI would not even be an option here because RMC's headquarters is just down the road. RMC has already retracked parts of Tremors, and they are building Stunt Pilot. But you may be asking, why would they RMC Timber Terror if they are getting a Raptor? Well, you see, parks already have an RMC Raptor and a hybrid, and it is still working out because they are relatively different. One is more spread out with a bit crazier elements, while one is very compact and single-railed with more intense elements. Pretty different if you ask me. The last one that I could kind of see is Cheetah at Wild Adventures. That could be GCI'd or RMC'd, but this is pretty unlikely because Herschend does not really care about Wild Adventures. So comment below if I missed any parks that could potentially get an RMC treatment. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see everyone next time. Have a great rest of your day.